You're listening to Jonesy's Jukebox on KLOS. That was Magazine. Light Pours Out of Me. Before that was The Ruts, Babylon's Burning, and then we started with Gary Myrick. Living Disaster was the name of that track. Mike Posner's my guest. Hello, Mike.
How you doing?
How you doing?
I'm well.
Thanks
Happy
for
to
coming
be
in.
here.
Thanks for coming in.
It's an honor.
I was looking at your Twitter,
Yeah?
and
What'd you see?
well, it was funny, the picture it was that bird you was taking a picture of, and you and your mate was sitting down there.
Yeah.
It was a girl who was on like a hot.
Demi Lovato.
Is that who that was?
Yeah.
I like the fact that you got the one picture sitting there, and then the second picture is your picture taking
Correct.
it of. What was you doing there at the Grammys?
We were on the red carpet, and we decided we should just sit down.
Yeah.
And
Did it upset anyone?
behind us came a beautiful singer named Demi Lovato. And so, all the people, the photographers, were taking pictures of us. And then when she came along, they sort of pivoted and all stopped looking at us, started taking pictures of her. And so...
Understandably.
And so, yeah. And so we started taking pictures of her, too. And, yeah, it upset. There was some sort of, like, I don't know, red carpet, like... manager, I don't know. He was like, you can't sit here.
Was that the guy
Move.
going like this in the picture?
Yeah, he was telling us to move. But it's it's not really a big deal. It's a red carpet.
Was it a big deal then? Was that I was just looking at your Twitter. I don't know if it was a big deal or not that you was doing that.
Some people were upset by
Uptight of the most stupidest things these
about
days.
me and my mate's conduct on the red carpet, which was pretty light for us too. We have a band together called Mansions, and sometimes we'll like slap each other in the face and wear like full dresses and makeup and point guns at each other. So we were, we thought we were being pretty polite.
I'd say so.
But the whole world didn't agree. It's all good. It's okay.
Did you have I see your hair's not as green as it was at the Grammys. Is it washed out a little bit?
It's washed out a little bit. That's the thing with dyeing her hair. It grows and fades.
Well, you got to...
I need to get it redone. It looks kind of cool now with the little fade and, some roots are showing.
I like it better.
Yeah, it's cool now.
They're
both cool.
It was too green before. It was like out of Batman, like old school Batman before.
It was shining. It was shining,
Did you do it that day?
We, yes.
Both of you?
Yes.
You and your mate?
Yes.
Is that the guy you're in a band with?
Yes. Black Bear.
What did you think of the Grammys? Did you sit through most of it or what?
I sat through a lot of it. They're very long, so you have to come up for air and sometimes to urinate. And when I would get back, you can't walk. They don't let you walk back to your seat when the show's going. You have to do a commercial break.
Yeah.
So you wait a long time, for the commercial break. So I missed a lot of cool performances. But I saw a lot too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any highlights? I was just watching it in my bed when it was happening, and I liked what's her name? The English bird, the big bird.
Adele.
I thought that was good. That she actually stopped and started, and I was thinking, is this a move? Is this like a new publicity move?
No, it wasn't.
It seemed it was too real.
It wasn't, because I don't know. I don't think she. I was listening to her just sing it the first time, and I was like, these are some interesting chord melody. Like, it's pretty like atonal for Adele. Yeah. And then she stopped and did it differently. But yeah, that was a pretty rad moment.
That was a good moment.
Yeah.
Definitely a good moment. But and the fact that she was doing it for George, and just the fact that she said, I can't mess this up. I thought it was very, very cool moment, because I knew George.
And
Michael.
then the poise to then do it correctly.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because I don't know about you, but if I just messed it up once and then I redid it, I'd be very scared I was going to make the same mistake again.
Right.
But she didn't.
Right.
So.
What do you think it
Shout-outs
was?
to Adele.
She couldn't hear in her ear monitors?
I have no idea. Yeah, there wasn't a lot going musically. There wasn't a lot going on at the beginning, so probably she might have just had trouble hearing that one instrument and getting the key of the song. Yeah,
because she can definitely sing.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about that. What do you got? You got a book coming out?
I have my first book of poetry. Comes out March 17th.
And any pictures in it?
There's a lot of pictures and illustrations.
Teardrop and balloons.
Teardrops and balloons, yeah.
Did you do a voice for it too?
An audiobook.
Audiobook.
Yeah, I did, and I had a lot of fun with it.
You had fun with it?
Yeah, because
How long is your book? How many pages?
I think it's between like 90 and 100.
Oh, okay. That's why you had fun with it.
Yeah. And it's poems, so some of them are short, some of them are a couple pages long. Yeah, I having made albums, the thought of writing, I know you mentioned to me you just had a book come out.
Yeah.
And so the thought of like writing I just don't know how you did it, man.
300 pages it was. And I did the audio too, and I almost lost my mind.
Yeah.
Because it's a lot, and it was like 60. It took me 60 hours to complete it.
Wow.
But I had to do it. I had to do it in my own voice. I couldn't have some other.
Yeah, you have to. When the author reads their own book, it's so much better to listen to.
Yeah. I agree. But no one told me beforehand.
This is going to take 60 hours.
It was going to kill you. Yeah.
I could have told you that, dude. You had 300 pages to read.
I told a lot of people I was doing it. People who I know, professional people. None of them said it. Maybe they just wanted to teach me a lesson or something. But it's all good. It's all good. What you got going on today? You in a hurry? We got you for a little while?
I'm in no hurry.
Okay.
We're going to a photo shoot after this, but
yeah,
I think we've scheduled it responsibly.
Okay.
So there's travel time and full interview time allotted.
You got to take it easy because of the rain. You don't want to be slipping and sliding.
People shut down in L.A. with some rain.
I know, and it ain't even
people
crazy.
In Michigan would be happy for this weather here today.
I'm happy for it because it's light. You
They
mean
can't drive in the rain here. They can't operate. They get sad.
Well, you got to put something on the news. I saw.
This weather here is par for the course.
I love it.
Michigan.
I love this weather. We need it. But I saw what do they call them? A news truck, and there was a guy filming like a little puddle, making like a big deal out of it. Like trying to make out that it was more than it was, I watched the Weather Channel this morning. Do you ever watch the Weather Channel?
No.
There was these horrible people on there who were trying to be funny, who were just not funny. It was awful. I just wanted to find out how today was going to look. And it didn't even get to it. I was watching it for half hour to talk about California. Didn't even get to it. Just these clowns trying to be funny. In the middle of nowhere, wherever they do the Weather Channel. Anyway, enough of them. Let's get back to you.
Back to me.
So what else? So what else you got going on?
Well, there's the book, and then the group project Mansions with my buddy Black Bear comes out March 24th.
Is it just two of you?
It's just two of us, and then my next album will come out.
When?
I don't have a hard date yet, but like hopefully this summer.
You like doing music?
I love it, man. I love it. I tell you what, I recently moved back to LA from Detroit, and I was looking for a spot. I was staying with friends while I found my own spot, and I record at home just on my laptop and microphone, and recorded myself since I was a teenager. And I didn't until I had my spot. I couldn't set up my little desk, you know,
Yeah.
my little studio
Yeah.
set up, and it was just eating me alive. And so I finally got it up yesterday and today, and I've gotten 2 songs done, in 2 days. So it's just like I'm rolling again, and it feels really good. I feel like that's one of the things I'm meant to do. And when I'm
Play
not
music.
doing it, it doesn't feel good.
Yeah.
Doesn't feel great.
Do you write on a guitar or do you write on a computer?
Both.
Yeah.
Sometimes I don't. Writing is a funny word, because writing we really use as a synonym for create, right? But a lot of times there's no writing involved. A lot of times I'm sitting on an airplane or just someplace, and I'm sure all your listeners have had the experience, the sensation of having a song pop in their head.
Of course.
Well, it's the same thing for me, but just a lot of times I have never heard the song before. And it doesn't feel like I'm really doing anything. I'm just hearing something in my head, and then I try to get it recorded the same way I hear it in my head.
Yeah.
That's my job.
All right. Mike Posner is my guest. Let's play some Stooges.
Let's do it.
Raw Power. Take it away. You're listening to Jonesy's Jukebox on KLOS. That was Mink DeVille, a track called Gunslinger. Before that was Mick Ronson, his version of the Velvet Underground's White Light, White Heat. And we started with the Stooges, Raw Power, the title album track. Beautiful. You know where the Stooges are from?
Detroit.
That's right.
Yeah.
Mike Posner in the studio.
Here I am, in all my glory.
A native Detroitian.
Detroiter, we say.
Yeah. And how long you been out here then?
I lived here 6 years.
Oh, you don't live in LA?
I just moved back. I'm giving you the long answer.
Go on then.
I lived here 6 years after college and moved back home to Southfield, Michigan the last 10 months. And I just moved back to the west side.
What was it you couldn't handle there?
In Detroit?
The nothingness to do.
The cold.
The cold.
Yeah, the winter is the real answer. It was very tough for me growing up. I would say depressed. My mom doesn't like when I say that because I never went to a doctor, so I was never really diagnosed. But yeah, I just felt like nothing mattered. It's real hard. It's especially we go to school, and I would go before the sun came up, and I played basketball, and I would leave, and the sun would be down. And just kind of do that for enough months, and it starts to get to you.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
It's like Sweden. They all kill themselves.
So I was a little ambitious this year. I thought, well, I could be happy anywhere. I'm older now, but I definitely felt it again. Yeah.
Doesn't he live there? Did he move back there, Eminem?
I don't think he ever left.
Right.
Yeah.
So he loves it there.
Yeah, I don't think, he doesn't live, I think he lives in a nice house, now, but, yeah, I suppose he.
You pals with him? You ever met him?
I never met him.
Me neither.
He's not around a lot, I think probably
himself.
to his credit, but he's not a guy you like, you're gonna see like hanging out at a party.
Yeah.
Typically.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a reputation of
a Lone Ranger.
Yeah. Or spend that time, in the studio, I guess.
Yeah. Yep.
I guess I'm a bit the same.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't hang out late much, or hang out that much at all. If I do, it's with a friend or two here, but I get anxious at like big parties and stuff like that.
I'm with you there.
Yeah.
Does anyone know you're on the radio? Do any of your friends know you're on the radio right now?
I retweeted the station's tweet.
Yeah.
But no, I haven't like texted any of my friends personally that I'm on the air.
Do you do social media?
I do.
You do it yourself?
Yeah.
On what's your favourite? Mine's Instagram's my favourite.
Same. Yeah.
How many
same.
followers do you have? You have a lot?
I think it's somewhere between 200,000 and 300,000.
Oh.
A lot is relative.
I know.
You know?
I know. Some people have 5 followers.
Yeah.
And I look down at them with my 40,000 followers.
And yeah.
And then there's you looking down at me with my 40,000 followers.
And I have friends with, many more than me.
Do you think it actually, is it good? Is it a good thing?
Is what?
Social media. Likes, followers.
It's like anything, there's pros and cons to it. I would say a con would be, I've noticed in myself where instead of capturing some experience that I'm living and sharing it, I'm attempting to create an experience for the sole purpose of getting a picture to look cool, right? So it's the other way around. Instead of life being dictating the Instagram, the Instagram is dictating life. So that's the con. But I've also used social media to create really beautiful moments in real life. A couple years ago, we did what we call the Ninja Tour, which is when a couple friends and I drove across America in an RV, and each day we would tweet and Instagram a location, and we would play a free show just with guitars in a park somewhere. And then you had these really...
people, your fans came and saw you, who was in that area?
They'd show up, and we'd show up, and they'd be small enough we get to meet everyone after, and you have these really powerful connections in the real world that were created because the social media was there.
Yeah.
So there's good and bad. There's good and bad to it.
Did you film it as well?
Yeah. Yeah, we have a documentary about it that's not quite completed yet, but it's close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you like Black Sabbath?
I do.
You picked a song.
I did. I picked War Pigs.
Do you want to hear it?
I want to hear it badly. This is one of the... It's just so... I grew up a hip-hop kid.
Yeah.
And this song is just hard. It's hard, man. I know. I didn't say
I
it.
know. You were good. You're
You're
a professional.
It's hard, though. What's harder than that? Come on. I'm going to lose my mind when I hear that.
Okay, you're going to lose your mind then. Mike Posner, Jonesy's Jukebox, KLOS, Black Sabbath, War Pigs. You're listening to Jonesy's Jukebox, KLOS. That was Black Sabbath, War Pigs. That was picked by Mike Posner. And he knew every bit. Trust me, he was doing the drum fills, guitar, little bits, the lot. He had it down.
It's hard.
It's good, though.
Yeah. Heavy. And jammy at the same time.
Yeah. Very, I don't know very what, but it's good stuff. We play a lot of Sabbath on the box.
Good for you.
Yeah. So you're going to do a photo session?
What do you mean? Oh, yeah, today?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
You're going to dress up? Is it a surprise?
I don't know what we're going to wear. It's for the group.
Yeah.
So my buddy, he brought a bunch of clothes.
Yeah.
We'll try them out. Be creative.
Yeah.
Be fun.
I like dressing up.
Yeah, we dress up for the group thing. It's fun. Sometimes I'll wear makeup for it. I like it.
What was the thing you were doing? Was you in India? You were somewhere in India?
Yeah, I spent about 10 days in India. It was, borders on ineffable. It was an incredible experience. People there are just incredibly kind. And
With broken poverty, right?
Yeah, but
they're still happy.
Yeah, and it sort of reminds you, the tendency, you go over there as a well-to-do American, and you say, oh, these poor people, but then you realize that they're saying the same thing about you, because you have all this stuff and you're not happy.
Yeah.
And they have nothing. You're right. But
Yeah.
but the smiles on their faces are wider than yours.
Was it India?
So who is the joke really on? Is it us or them?
Well, you know, it's obviously that consumption ain't the answer to happiness.
Right, and that's the tendency, right?
We're told that.
We're told, and it makes sense, right? Because if you're starving, right, a sandwich makes you feel better than having nothing.
Yeah.
Right? But the myth is that 10 sandwiches is better than one for a meal, right?
Yeah.
And I'm using that as just a
Yeah.
metaphor for, 10 Ferraris is better than one Ferrari. When you and I both know there's no difference between one Ferrari and 10 Ferraris. So it makes sense why we would think that, okay, I made $1 million, so if I make 2 million, I'll be twice as happy. But it just doesn't work that way, does it? And so the question is, if life is not about amassing the maximum amount of women, adoration, and money, then what is it about? And I'm not sure I have the answer to that. I'm sorry to disappoint you, but I feel very grateful that I'm asking the question now instead of at the end of my life.
Yeah.
And maybe I'm closer to the end of my life than I know. It's pretty presumptuous of me to say at the end of my life, as if I know when I'm gonna die. But,
Yeah.
there you have it. I have a question for you.
Yes, sir.
If you could go back and give yourself one piece of advice at age 30 or 29, I just turned 29.
Yeah.
What would it be?
I don't know.
And where are you when you're 29?
I was kind of miserable. I was in a miserable phase. I was kind of at the end of a long run doing a lot of drugs and, in a bad place. No money.
Mm-hmm.
A heroin addict. It wasn't a good place for me. So, I mean, everyone's got a path, and I was lucky that all that horribleness brought me out of that, and I was lucky, and now I kind of like being alive. I'm 61 now.
Yeah.
But I didn't like being in my 20s. I think it's a weird phase to be in. For me, it was trying to figure myself out, trying to figure out who I was, instead of being an image I thought everyone thought me, wanted to think I should be. I was kind of caught up in that, and it wasn't me. So now I know who I am. It's a lot more relaxing. I don't have to put on any front. Anything I say is me, and I own it.
Yeah.
And that's, to me, is the most important thing to do, is to be yourself. Took me a long time to figure that out, but I got there, and I'm still learning. I think 5 years from now, I'll know a lot more about myself than I did on this day.
I think so.
So
I struggle with this a lot myself because you're right. The more you live, the more you learn.
yeah,
So
not everyone does though.
for me personally, I should say, the more I live, the more
Yeah.
I learn.
Yeah,
And so there's a Gandhi quote that I love. Where he says, "My allegiance is to truth, not to consistency."
yeah,
So, of course, the more I learn, the older I get, the more wise I become. Of course, I'm going to change. And so my allegiance is to that, not to who I was before.
yeah,
And I've tried to adopt this ethos, this philosophy in leading my life, but it really can piss people off. I'll tell you what, because as I learn or change and grow and become older, I'll change my music. I'll change my appearance. And
You mean your fans don't want you to change?
not even just my fans, just family,
Yeah.
managers, everyone in my life. Every time I change, they go, "What is wrong with you? Why are you doing that?" And they think it's they think it's a downfall of mine,
Yeah.
that I don't know who I am.
Yeah.
When I would argue that I'm learning more about who I am, and that's why I'm changing. But it pisses people off, man.
Oh, well. But you're the one who's got to put your head down at night, not them.
I agree.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mike Posner is the man you were just listening to. We're going to play one of your songs.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Honored.
I Took a Pill in Ibiza.
Woo!
You want to hear it?
Yeah.
Jonesy's Jukebox, KLOS, take it away.